You board the ship and they tell you everything is included. You eat in the dining room, you hit the buffet, you grab snacks by the pool. It feels free. It feels unlimited. But here's the truth. The food isn't free. It's engineered. It's the loss leader, designed to make you feel like you got a deal. The real money comes later, in specialty dining, drinks, room service, and every premium experience after. By the time you realize how the system works, you've already paid. Let's pull back the curtain. Step onto any cruise ship and the promise of unlimited meals seems almost magical. The buffet stretches from one end of the deck to the other. Dining rooms serve 3 courses, sometimes 4. Snacks appear by the pool, pastries fill the cafe, and room service is just a phone call away. The impression is clear, food is everywhere, and it is all included. But behind the curtain, the numbers tell a different story. Cruise lines do not actually give food away. They price every meal, every ingredient, every hour of kitchen labor right into the fare. Industry claims often cite a daily food cost of $11 to $13 per passenger. Yet when you add up the real cost stack, the produce, the seafood, the galley crew, the refrigeration, the waste, and the logistics, the true figure lands closer to $13.07 per person per day. That is not a guess. It is the result of breaking down each layer, from bulk ingredient contracts to the energy that keeps walk-in freezers humming day and night. Bulk buying power keeps ingredient costs low. Bananas and bread rolls come in by the ton, and high-volume contracts shave cents off every portion. Labor is a major slice. Chefs, cooks, and servers working around the clock, often at wages shaped by international hiring rules. Then there is spoilage, storage, and even the depreciation of multi-million-dollar galley equipment, all quietly folded into the daily cost. So the food is not free, it is just engineered to be inexpensive, so inexpensive that it becomes the perfect bait. When the base fare already covers the cost, every extra meal feels like a bonus. That sense of abundance is no accident. It is the foundation for a system designed to nudge you, meal by meal, towards spending more elsewhere on the ship. The anatomy of cruise ship dining costs reveals a system built for scale and precision. Ingredient spending is only part of the equation. On most ships, labor accounts for about $4.80 per passenger each day. That figure covers not just the chefs and cooks, but also the servers, stewards, and the unseen hands working overnight shifts in the galley. Overhead, everything from refrigeration and waste management to the gradual wear and tear on million-dollar kitchen equipment adds another layer. Amortizing a galley's ovens and prep stations over a decade might seem like a small line item, but across thousands of meals, even a few cents per plate matter. Menu design is where the real strategy unfolds. Buffets lean heavily on low-cost, high-yield staples: pasta, rice, bread, and salad. Proteins and specialty items appear, but in smaller portions. Recipes are engineered to stretch expensive ingredients as far as possible without drawing attention. Bulk contracts for produce and seafood bring prices down further, especially when ships can commit to buying by the ton. Waste is tracked closely, with portion control algorithms and inventory systems reducing shrinkage to just a few percent. With production costs held so low and every overhead meticulously managed, the basic meal becomes the perfect foundation for upselling. The sense of limitless abundance is built on a model where the cruise line risks little financially. Every extra plate handed out costs them pennies, not dollars. This careful structure primes guests for the next step, spending on experiences and upgrades that deliver much higher margins. The buffet may feel like a feast, but it is designed to be the opening act for a much larger show. Specialty restaurants and drink packages have become the real engines of cruise ship profit. The main dining room and buffet are just the starting line. Once guests are on board, the real spending begins. Specialty dining venues, steakhouses, sushi bars, celebrity chef bistros invite passengers to trade up from the included meal to a premium experience. The price difference is dramatic. While the kitchen cost for a specialty entree might be only a few dollars, the menu price often lands between $30 and $70 per person. The result is a gross margin that routinely sits between 80 and 85%. For the cruise line, every specialty meal sold is a windfall. Over the course of a typical week-long cruise, guests who visit these venues contribute an extra $40 to $60 each, purely in specialty dining uplift. Alcohol is even more profitable. The cost to pour a cocktail or a glass of wine is tiny. Spirits and mixers add up to less than $2 per drink. Yet the average price on board ranges from $10 to $15, with bottles of wine and craft cocktails commanding even higher markups. That is a gross margin of 85 to 90%, the highest on the ship. Multiply that by the volume poured each night, and the numbers add up fast. Industry reports show that alcohol alone can generate $120 to $150 in profit per passenger on a 7-day sailing. Drink packages, marketed as a way to save, are priced above the break-even point for most guests. The average traveler rarely drinks enough to match the package cost, leaving the cruise line with a healthy surplus. These premium experiences are not side businesses, they are the backbone of onboard revenue. The easy access to free food sets the stage, but it is the specialty venues and the bar that drive the ship's biggest profits. Drink packages promise ease and savings, but the math rarely favors the passenger. Most are priced so that only the heaviest drinkers ever see real value. The average package requires 5 or more drinks a day just to break even. For most guests, that means they pay for convenience, not consumption. The difference goes straight to the cruise line's bottom line. Non-alcoholic packages work the same way. Daily rates can outpace what most people would ever spend on sodas or specialty coffees. The structure is intentional. Packages are bundled to feel like a deal, but the break-even point sits just out of reach for the average traveler. Room service, once a symbol of cruise luxury, now comes with its own set of charges. Late-night snacks, breakfast in bed, even a simple sandwich can add $12 to $18 to the final bill over the course of a week. Each order might seem trivial, but together these small charges quietly inflate the total spend. The same goes for specialty snacks and a la carte desserts scattered around the ship, priced just high enough to feel like a treat, but low enough to encourage impulse buys. Taken one by one, these extras look harmless, but as the days pass, the tally grows. What starts as a free food vacation turns into a series of calculated choices, each nudging the guest toward a higher onboard bill. This is the real architecture of cruise dining, a system built on small, repeatable decisions that add up not by accident, but by design. Small charges and shifting rules shape every decision on board. A specialty restaurant might add a $1 or $2 cover fee per person, quietly increasing the bill for what feels like an upgrade. Gratuities of 15% to 20% are automatically added to drinks, spa treatments, and premium dining, appearing as mandatory line items rather than tips. Last-minute reservations for specialty venues can trigger surcharges up to 25%, especially when demand is high. The ship's app pushes flash sales and limited-time offers, counting down the minutes to create urgency. These nudges aren't random. They are crafted to steer guests toward higher spending, often without a second thought. Even small purchases, like a specialty coffee or a late-night snack, come with their own service charges. Each rule or fee is designed to feel minor, but together they shift passenger behavior, turning a sense of abundance into a steady stream of extra revenue. A mid-range balcony passenger on a typical week-long cruise faces a final bill that rarely matches the headline fare. The real-world average lands near $1,984 per person once onboard spending is factored in. That figure blends a base fare around $1,300 with about $650 in extras, drinks, specialty meals, gratuities, and incidentals. What starts as an all-included promise quickly becomes a series of choices, each with a price tag attached. To keep spending in check, 5 strategies stand out. First, calculate the break-even point for any drink package before buying. Most people save more by paying per drink. Second, pick just 1 or 2 specialty dinners and enjoy the main dining room the rest of the time. Third, make full use of the complimentary buffet and self-serve coffee to avoid paying for snacks or fancy lattes. Fourth, skip paid room service after the free breakfast window. Visit the buffet instead. Fifth, consider booking excursions independently or choose free onboard activities to sidestep pricey tour markups. Each of these moves turns industry pricing tactics into tools for smarter travel, putting control back in your hands. Every time you step into a dining room at sea, you enter a marketplace built on perception. Today, cruise lines earn more from onboard spending than ticket sales. The real choice is not what's on your plate, but how you decide to value each dollar beyond that first bite. Your move.